thank you for staying with us all this while. It's a Friday, and yeah, around this time we get into the newspapers. Wherever you are, thank you for making the time. And guess whom the net just dragged in? A certain SKB. We have SKB Asante. Asante Udine Chiana.
No.
This is Samuel Kojo.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. That's what it is. Maybe Enu could have been a hunter because I am a hunter.
Do you speak it? I speak some time back, we had this, one of our, colleagues from Love FM put together a piece on the Ahanta language and people who now trying to, stop its death, so to speak, because very few people actually speak it. Do you speak Ahanta?
Oh, I do. I was in one of the documentaries put together by The Fortune. Okay. Actually, Kweko Zobra did the first one. Okay. That time I was in the university, and then Fortune came to do, I think one in 2017. Oh, yes. I say it. So
give us a little.
So, for example,
show your steed.
In the morning, Melim Mamabo and Mr. Mabemabahi, Bidemi Oson. Mdemke bon diene. Nyamnamaza Veneva share, Nede, Remo, Amzimo, Yare. Ile Yan. Amimo Koko, Ye, Honey, who are Namomi, Yakwa, Niani, Grabo. Name, Nibula, my cry for. If I any more the fabric, ni agree and work so bo. A crow wabwa, ye banya the cabbage na baba, na me share grawa.
Okay. So all that he's been saying is that politicians no more hard. But we're going to try to ensure that everything stabilizes as we deal with the issues this morning in the course of the news review. That's all he was.
That's your own understanding, and that's your own statement, because everything I said was to greet my people and to tell them to do the right thing.
Nah, this is propaganda. This is false propaganda. But that was good. That was good. That was good.
All my life, I've tried to better myself in my identity. So I speak my language. My kids do speak it. Although they are not too
Congratulations to you.
Yeah. I mean, it's like compulsory. When you're in the home, you have to.
Yeah.
When you go to school, you speak English. When you come home, it's a hunter. So when you need anything, you have to speak a hunter before I can do it for you.
We're proud of you for that feat. But you see, while I really love you as a brother, wait, Astro, what the change?
Oh, there.
Guys, I want you to shoot me. Look at him. Now, why you say?
I could say.
So I do this, then you do
I could say, I mean, that's insane. I have to match up to the thing. Maybe plate in it, I also match up to the plate. I cannot let you give me too much gap. Yeah, no gap, but dressing, no.
But this is lovely. Who fitted you out?
It's Attila Fashion.
Wow.
Attila Fashion, GH, a young guy in Dansoman. They call it the Coco Photo also. Okay. So they're about,
Okay. Very
young guy. He's called Kwame. I like him.
I am usually fitted out by Catherine Gordon, but today this one, it's a freestyle. Anyway, let's get into the papers. Oh, but before we do, just in some 30 seconds, do you know what I'm sharing my blunt thoughts on today?
No.
Wild guess.
Will it be on the elections? On road?
Smart guy. So I've titled my blunt thoughts today. Expect that at around 7:20 a.m. Auctions or elections? Moneycracy or democracy? The nasty twists and turns of Ghanaian politics.
Interesting.
So do we have moneycracy or democracy? Elections or auctions? Look forward to that. You don't want to miss it. What do you think?
I concluded way back in 2012 in the university that we've lost it. Because in the university where you expect all of us to be level-headed and that we'll go for issues, it was money. It was who paid the highest money then. So I concluded that we've destroyed our politics. And because it was us, student leadership, who were going to cross over into the politics, mainstream politics, I felt then we killed it then. There's no way we're going to redeem it.
Our politics
will be difficult.
Has died a slow, painful death.
It's gone. So today, if you have the right leadership qualities, if you have the right attitude to serve your people well, and you don't have the financial backing, forget it. You won't win any seat in Ghana unless the people themselves decide that, as for this time, we want this guy there. And even that, it will take a miracle. Because in everybody's mind, it's about who can pay what. So immediately they know you want to come, they'll start doing, my child's school fees here, I want to do this, training, I want to do that. So if you don't have, what do? You sit your corner and take care of yourself.
Do you know something that's interesting? And I'll be expatiating on that when we get into our blunt thoughts for today, right before we get into the papers. At least the Nigerians, they spend, but they have a cap. They had a cap of 2 billion naira, okay, up until February this year, and then they increased it to 5 billion. We don't even have a cap.
No.
It's free for all. And we are spending 547 million Ghana cedis.
It's serious.
To become president.
Yeah.
This was even in 2016. So 547 million Ghana cedis.
To become president.
It means that
547
that was 2016. Million. So you can expect that that figure went up in 2020. Let's get into the papers. Let's check out the Ghanaian Times.
Shocking. Well, let's start with the Ghanaian Times. Teacher union strike, academic calendar not affected, GS Director General assures. It comes with a picture of Professor Kwesi Opoku Amankwa, who's the Director General of the Ghana Education Service. Now, he says that the school calendar for 2022-2023 academic year will not be impacted significantly by the 2-week strike action embarked on by teacher unions across the country. He said as part of the measures put in place to ensure that the lost time during the strike action was recovered, regional and district directors had been instructed to liaise with the various heads of schools to put in some form of interventions for the students. But we're also being told that some students are not even going to school at all. You heard that story from Central Region where because of the dilapidated structures, people are not going to school. So there are a lot of things.
I mean, because there are fears, realistic fears.
Exactly, yes,
you prefer death to...
No.
Small education we want. You want
in the same region, about 2, 3, 4 years ago, some children were killed. And it got JoyNews to try to...
That project's still ongoing.
So, again, National COVID-19 Trust Fund backs 62 million Ghana cedis in contributions and donations. Yesterday, they accounted for it and showed us how they spent the money. Which of them was shocking to you?
They gave there's PPE and a whole lot. I mean, a list of 13, then later whittled down to 9. But me, you see, my whole point is we can play around the figures. It could be realistic that we even spent all of that money on PPE. But the point is, the breakdown, it's not about the overarching figures. It's about the breakdown. How many people did we give these to? Where? You know, some of them, I mean, they say, okay, we pumped it into this facility, COVID-19 center, this and all of that. So, well, we can do the cost-benefit analysis and do the valuations. Did it really cost us this at that time, market price, to put up this, to do that? Those are the things we ought to be accounting for.
That is,
else if, you know, let's say, you are the people. You entrust 100 million cedis to me. And I come and tell you, oh, I spent the 100 million, I spent 50 million on PPE and another 50 million on maybe serving Ghanaians with hot food. Without a proper breakdown, which is what we'd expect from the mop-up of the figures across the country. What have you done?
I think that will be done by an auditor, for them to audit those accounts and for us to know the details.
Auditory things never happen. That's why the Auditor General is always 2 steps behind corrupt entities and people. Do you get it? Because in the end, they always do the thing. We're always reactionary. We're doing things post the fact. And now that we have an Auditor General who isn't even surcharging or doing the sort of things, and I'll say that Domelevo was doing, matters have, it appears we've retrogressed even further. So I mean, these things, it's a hopeless case until we change the system.
Because yesterday when her ladyship retired, Sophia Kufu was giving those our figures. I was here asking myself, can we get the real details
so many questions.
Of whatever was
when you give me such figures, I don't know how to work with them. I like doing calculations. I like breaking down, like you would see when I do my slides, and I like to break stuff down. No, what equivalent of this is this? What is? If you don't give us such figures, all you're doing is child's play. Really.
Well, maybe time could, because I had a mention that details in the report. So we'll get a report. And then
we'll see whether the details we
are looking for. The sad news in the Western North region. Bibiani Mine demonstration leaves 6 with gunshot wounds. They were demonstrating over work. That once Mason Gold was coming in the area, they are looking for the youth there to be employed. It's about time we probably have such discussions. For every entity, we know we'll have something called social buy-in. And that's, if a company sets up in an area, you would want the people there to welcome you, even though government and all the authorities have given you the authorization to operate. You also need to get that collaboration with the communities. So what you do, I think, is not even, I mean, that's the standard practice, that you meet the communities to spell out your vision. You know, let them understand how things are, how they are involved. That's how you avoid these things, because what has happened, the investor somewhere would feel jittery, and it's because somebody probably, I'm saying probably because I don't know whether they did that community engagement or did not, didn't do the work well. If you had engaged them properly, all these things could have been avoided. So it's about time companies do learn these things, that when you're going into a community, you don't move in there and start operating straight away, because there are some people who will be affected by operations. If there's a blast, who are affected? It's by those who are affected are those who are close to your operations. So companies would have to sit down with these people and let them understand. Probably the skill set.
Are you suggesting they don't do these? Because I felt in fact, when you look at the guidelines when it comes to mining in communities and all of that, I thought that was an integral part of it.
That's why I'm saying that probably they did not do it. Look,
maybe it wasn't done well enough.
There's a company which is about to operate in the Hunter West area. I'm not going to give details. But when I chanced on it, I was like, since when did these people start here?
Right.
Who have they engaged?
And you're very familiar with this.
This is my area.
Great.
So at least if you want to mine there, you know your operations affect more than one community, more than two, more than three. You have to meet these communities and tell them, we are coming in here.
Someone would even see your outfit and immediately get apprehensive because the person has no idea. Sometimes it merely takes reaching out to the chiefs and a few community members, community leaders, who also spread the word. You don't have to meet with everybody.
But sometimes, I would even prefer, when it's about community engagement, move beyond the leaders. Because you know, some people do not trust their leaders so much.
You have a good
move
point.
Beyond them, meet them, have a discussion about the sort of things you're about to do, and even the skill set you need to get people in there. Because if you tell them that I need a phone repairer, and nobody in the community is a phone repairer, how would they come and attack you for not employing them?
Yeah.
Already you have told them that you need a phone repairer. So if they don't have it, they don't have those skill sets. What you do is like, I won't want to mention the name, but one mining company did something in the area. They instituted a program to train people.
I've heard of a few of those.
Yes, to have the skill set to be employed. So when they train you, then they absorb you. That's something that we have to be doing. You cannot just get up and go into a community to say you are going to be. So maybe mention gold if they haven't done it. I'm not saying that they didn't do it. I'm just saying that if they didn't, then they have to probably.
But we may say if they didn't did it. Someone was saying if they didn't did it.
They have to do something like that to have it. Yeah, they should did it.
All right. Let's look at the Daily Graphic newspaper. Inactivity at the Ifwa Sutherland Children's Park. Ifwa Sutherland Park loses shine. Gender Ministry says park not sold. You know, there have been lots of claims about the park being sold and all of that. According to the story, there seems to be no end in sight to the deterioration at the state-owned Ifwa Sutherland Children's Park. The one-time vibrant park strategically located in the heart of Accra is on its knees. In its glorious days, the facility was a center of attraction for many families who sent their children there, especially on public holidays and weekends, to have fun. Also, schools and various groups hosted programs such as the award-winning Italian Il Florilegio or Florilegio Circus, fun fairs, among others there. However, for more than a decade, the one-time vibrant park has been left inactive. This is in sharp contrast to private parks in the national capital, which have been well kept and continue to receive patronage. Notable private parks and family centers that have taken the space in the region are the Bliss Family Center, Splash and Play, Kiddie Ground, Kids Cottage, and the Play Zone. Of course, you're roping the tourism ministry and all of that. But again, like I always say, a pointer to how we let things deteriorate and become despicably bad. I remember growing up, going to the Ifwa Sutherland Park, having fun, doing stuff. You know what these could do for children? You know what they could do for children? I mean, there's so much fun and learning they can get from play. I remember the first time what's it even called? I just forget the name. In Cuba, when I did that thing that I've just forgotten.
The tubes?
Yeah, you see those ones where through the tunnels and da-da-da-da-da-da. It was such a thrill. I mean, your heart is pumping, your adrenaline is rushing, but it's such a thrill. When you do these across the world, there's a different feel to it. But here, especially as it is located right next to Kempinski, and not too far away, the Movenpick Grand Hotel. Not too far away, the Accra City Hotel. Can you imagine what we could be raking in from here? If I had money, I said some time back that if I had money as a private investor, I would have found a way of getting it from government, privatize it, and trust me, do you see what happens in Disneyland and other places in the US and all of that? Do you know how many hundreds of millions and billions they make every year? And look at all these expats coming in. We want tourists to come into the country. And this is your major, children's park.
But this should... what this should get us to start thinking of as Ghanaians is our ability to destroy things that we build with our hands and resources.
Actually, to destroy things that other people bequeathed to us, we destroy.
You see, but I want us to look at it in general, as in the whole Ghana, as a people, that we build things, pumping money, and then we will sit down there and look on whilst the things deteriorate. I simply don't get it. Because people travel outside of the country to go and do these things, to go and have fun on these things, have their kids patronize these things.
So if they had access to that in Ghana, why would
you want to travel if you have all of these things here? Last time my kids were coming over and I was asking someone, where can I get a kids per children's park for them to go? When we have these things which are deteriorating and nobody seems to care. Why?
They don't care about these. But they care about chop chop.
But that's why I get so much disappointed in the whole Ghana agenda, really. That it looks like we don't have a goal. It looks like we don't know where we're going. We do watch on for anything to deteriorate before we go and pump in money to rehabilitate. Why? Why do we do such to ourselves? Well, look at how we watched on for the Sipon Stadium to deteriorate to the level it went.
It takes media people to make a lot of noise.
Sometimes it should be someone's job to care, to love Ghana. Such that when you see these things, your heart aches and you move in to ensure that the right things are done. Aren't we paying people who are supposed to be managing this?
Have you seen our parks and gardens? Half of them have been lost either to... People are actually taking over government land, state-owned land, regime after regime. Tenure after tenure. Everything state is becoming private property, and whatever they deem state and feel state, leave it, let it rot. Yeah. No country develops like that. Absolutely no country. No. But we are here claiming we want to develop. Yeah. Look at our major national, children's park. Amazing, right?
And the gender ministry says what?
I'm telling you, if we got this right, maybe could have prevented us from, going for an e-levy. How much do we want? 4.5 billion Ghana cedis. Are you telling me if we got something like this right and did proper advertising, marketing, we wouldn't rake in more than 5 billion Ghana cedis every year?
And we are talking about turning the Achimota Forest into an eco park or so. We just love to talk. We just love to talk without really thinking about what it needs for those things to be maintained and for them to really serve their purposes. You want to build an eco park when you have Sutherland Park that is deteriorating. You build an eco park.
But that's what we do.
No, we have,
but we will not work on those. We'll start new ones.
We'll pump in money to build eco park. But 5-10 years down the line, it will still come back to the ruins that this is in now.
Two quick stories to wrap. Page 19. IMF cannot solve country's economic woes. That's according to Dr. Gamel Nasser Adam, Vice President, Islamic University, Ghana. I agree with them to a large extent. And then review e-levy to 0.5%. Professor Peter Quarte says so. Do you have a take on these two matters?
Well, let's leave it.
You want to hold your thoughts?
Really. But he says the IMF will not develop Ghana's economy.
Dr. Adam is saying that. He's saying that it's not the solution.
Yes, I think
it's not the solution to resolving our problems.
The Vice President made this known in his presentation.
Yes,
recent
he made mention.
He said, we've gone to the IMF more than 16 times, isn't it?
So this is the 18th, if
yes.
you get it.
Now, every time we've gone there, it hasn't helped us solve the fundamental challenge.
Because that is not why you go to the IMF.
So it means that we know the solution. So we have to solve the fundamentals. Else, like he's saying, it's true. The IMF will not be our solution. If it was, having gone there 16 times, more than 16 times, you will not be going there today.
Are we going to work on the fundamentals? We still have, after I think 2014 or so, we've always had budgets tied to the apron strings of the Bretton Woods institutions, foreign donors. Yeah. You can't fund your own budget in completion. In addition, you are import-oriented. You are not exporting much. You are not building your industries. You don't have a stable economy. Tell me, what are you going to do with all of that? You will always go to the IMF.
Wasn't that the reason why we brought in the 1D1F?
And we said what? 1D1F for where?
Wasn't that the reason?
I challenge, and I'm putting this out there. I like dealing with facts and figures. Let's put everything together and say, okay, so we claim we have
over 100 factories.
over 100 and da. Okay, I know of Ekumfi Juice. They are doing great stuff. Yeah. I see their stuff out there. A bit, I mean, I'll say this, a bit sugary though. You should tone it down on the sugar. But
no, do they actually? They don't. I think everything is natural.
It tastes rather. I don't know. You look at the contents and come back to me.
Okay.
But the point I'm trying to make is the 100 and so plus factories, because some of them were refurbished, some were factories in existence, and we said we had done this and that for them. Let's quantify. How many? What are they yielding? What have they yielded for us? Let's say since 1D, 1F and all of that. If this government wants to show, those are the things they should be doing so that people will know, okay. But nothing of the sort. But look, if we want to industrialize, the impact I see from 1D, 1F is not what we need. We need something much bigger on a much larger scale.
I think that is a good start. What we have to do is to pump the money in the right direction, because I know
if
that
it's rice production.
Yes, I was coming to it.
You can target. So
because
you can do that. If it's sugar, we know. If it's rubber, we know.
Yeah.
So what are
a friend of mine, but for 1D, 1F, he wouldn't have, like started from where he did.
Great.
When the 1D, 1F initiative came, he knew he was already into rice. So he put up his proposals. Now he has a well-established factory in the Ashanti region, which is doing quite okay. But he needs more investment. And I think that the 1D, 1F Secretariat should be concerned with sustainability. So if I help this entity A to start, how do I ensure that it is sustaining itself, producing more, such that we are substituting import, like we said? For example, rice, we have the capacity. We have the capacity to grow and eat here without importing even a single grain.
I'll tell you something. The $25 million or so that we are using as seed money for the National Cathedral, when you put that side by side with the entire commitment in 2022 for 1D, 1F, it's almost same.
So I think
where are your priorities?
So I think it's a good.
Do you get the picture?
Yes. So it's a good idea, but probably the implementation is what we have to look at. We have to pump in more money, because I see some of them trying to do a lot. I don't want to mention names, but there are some that you see along the way.
This government, I'm putting it out there, it is trying to do too much at the same time. That is part of what, and the economists will tell you, that is part of what is crippling the system.
Maybe.
You're trying to do too many things at the same time. Free SHS, 1D, 1F, planting for food and jobs, Agenda 111, Nasikano. You know, you are bleeding.
Interesting. We have to have a broader conversation on how we can fund these things, because I think that when we are successful at these, it would help us a lot. Look, my friend whom I'm talking about, he has employed a number of guys, myself included, because I do other things around it. So what it means is that if you help this guy to grow, look at the number of people that will be affected by his production. Again, will not be importing rice, because these guys, he and the other friends who also produce rice in Ghana, will be producing for us here. We didn't need to spend dollars in importing. So really,
we have just about some 3 minutes. Let's make the most.
So the Delhi guy says Mills's family to exhume body for reburial. Hey,
It's not that they are to do so, but they are threatened, that they are prevented from,
Okay. Yes.
the former president, together with Samiata Mills, should not dare set foot there when they are commemorating. Oh, yes,
really?
That's what he said. He says they shouldn't show up there. And they are telling him that if they are barred from that, then they will just exhume the body and move him from there. And can any NGO, so to speak, come and dictate to them what to do from there.
And the Daily Guide has some beautiful cartoon on the page 3. Get it and look at it. Police acted harshly in Islamic SHS saga. COVID fund disburses 53 million cedis, and Freddie Blay hands over to a team. The new regime begins.
Blay to in team. He has passed on the baton. The Finder newspaper, 53 million Ghana cedis out of 62 million raised by COVID-19 trust fund disbursed. We've been talking about that. Road Safety Authority calls for trauma centers along crash-prone highways. Pictured there, I believe this is engineer David Adonting. There's also civil service embraces digitalization. Ajaman Dramana says so. And 1,051 board flights using Ghana card from various countries to Ghana. That's immigration data. Pictured there, the vice president smiling, beaming. Let's see. I just might travel one of these days. I'll see.
With the Ghana card.
I'll try my Ghana card and see how efficiently it works in that regard. There's also just to wrap. We will crack the whip. The Daily Statesman, new MPP General Secretary warns recalcitrant executives. That's JFK, Justin Frimpong Kudia, and the custodian, Ashanti MPs to meet president over projects. The recent bit to do
roads. Now, the Accra Times, torturing illegal minors, unacceptable minority to government. I'm sure you saw that video. Was quite terrible. Publisher, Defense Minister inspect Barracks Regeneration Project, Green Street Project in the Offen Land Minister, and Sunyani Airport ready for operation, Transport Minister says.
All right.
Yeah, let's go later.
So that's where we sew it up. It's always good. It's always good having you.
Always good to be here,
Will you be watching me when I deliver my blunt thoughts?
I will. I will be watching you. Yeah, from my corner.
Democracy, election, auction. Stay with me for that. I'll be back with that right after sports. But up next, sports. Stay.